Start with Java. So is string mutable or immutable in Java?
Immutable.
Why is it immutable? Are there
Uh,
any reasons? Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple of things which comes and which we need to analyze. For example, there's this one of the security constraint are there. So suppose like if you are storing your password in a string and you are hashing your code. Suppose if and the string goes like that. Suppose if the string is not immutable, so suppose it is a mutable one. So anyone go and changes the value of the password and and basically the same thing goes with the hash code as well. So that is one of the things. Like second thing also, whenever there is an immutable class, so definitely it is also a thread saver. So not any thread can go ahead and make the access of the particular string as well. And yeah, this is pretty much it why it is being made immutable.
Okay. Is there any security is another concern, but
Yeah,
basically when Java was developed, it was the string class was immutable.
yeah,
So you are aware of the string pool concept,
yeah.
string pooling or string interning? Yeah.
If you talk about the intern, you are saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so a string int is basically, suppose it basically uses to save out the memory. Suppose you define a particular string, whether it is literal or you created an object of the string, and you try to give out the value only, not the the spaces you wanted to give it to some other string. So that way as the interns comes in handy. And when we talk about the string pool, I'm not very sure. Means I have heard the word of it. Means, but what I've learned is like you know there's this there's this pool of constant pool under which they have a space for the string pool. So basically, whenever I create particular object, so it basically goes to is basically goes to the heap. And suppose if I define a literal, so it basically goes to the stack of the memory. And talking about the string pool, I think this is the information I know.
Yeah,
I should
that's
definitely look
fine.
out for more. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, are you aware of the static keyword?
Yeah.
So, what's the purpose of having a static keyword?
Yeah, so basically, whenever you're defining a particular static, a method, so the basic properties goes in, and like you are able to access that particular method without you to create an object. So you can access that particular like variable or method by the use of the class itself. The first thing is like second thing
Okay.
is like whenever you define the static, for example, a variable. So within the context of the class, you cannot change the value of it. And static is also useful when suppose you have a limited space. So you can call that particular a method or a variable to a particular you can apply the static keyword. So what is actually does is like it has a separate space within the heap within the JVM. So it basically captures those particular spaces rather than going, because if you're defining a
Okay.
particular method, so it will definitely go and go and have an space in the method call stack. But that is not the case with the static. So it will give up, it is having a very specific set of spaces in the within the heap memory. And
Okay. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
you're saying something or done?
actually I forgot. I think these are the main which I remember.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
Fine. Yeah. So, you're aware of static block.
yeah.
What's the difference in having a constructor and a static block?
With sorry, I'm not getting. With having the constraint.
Constructor. You have a constructor in your class, right?
Okay.
So you can define variables in your constructor,
Yeah, yeah.
or you can have it in your static block. So what's the main difference between them?
Uh, okay. So, are you saying like okay within the constructor you are sorry within the static block you are like within the static blocks you are creating a constructor? That's what I see.
No, you can you create a custom static block constructor?
No, that I know that thing like you cannot create a static constructor. That is one
Yeah,
thing.
I was asking in a class, you have a static block, you have
Okay,
a
block.
constructor.
Okay.
Yeah, static block. I'm not saying a static constructor.
Okay, great,
Static
great, great.
block and a constructor.
Okay.
So what's the main difference? You can have variables in static which can be accessed for everything. A constructor is also like uh, for variables, right? For defining variables.
As far as I know, when we define a particular instant within the static blocks, so these are accessible, but means these are accessible within the range of the main method. But when I declare like within the constructor within a static block, so it can have the initialization. I'm not sure because initiation does static block does not allow the stance initiation. Um, I don't think like we can create a constructor within the static blocks. I'm not sure. I think like we cannot.
No, no. My question was not creating a constructor with a static block.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you have an object, I mean a class object.
Okay.
You have a constructor and you have a static block. How does it, I mean, you have some different class objects. How is the memory shared for this? Is my question. For the static block
Okay.
and a constructor,
Okay.
how does those objects share these things?
Okay. Got it. Got it. You got a point. Got a point. So a constructor basically, is always being used to create a version sorry, used to create an object and a version of object depending upon which constructor you are using. And when we talked about the static one, so it basically execute the first thing majorly like when we define a static block, so it comes before the main method. That is one thing. Like it will call
Yeah,
itself before the main method.
fine.
And the second point is like when we defining out when we talked about the space. When we talked about in the terms of the space, when we talked about the constructor. Okay. Um, Static definitely going to have an space that is under the heap management. But when I talk about the constructor, I think every time you call a static method, it is going to acquire a particular space, and whenever anytime you call a particular constructor, uh, I think it is going to take uh, every time a new space.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought in the terms of the JVM, because you have the heap area, then you have the stacks of it.
Yeah,
I,
that's fine.
yeah,
Uh, so we have final variable, right?
yeah,
You know final keyword.
yeah. So yeah, sure. So when it used,
Yeah, maybe your internet is not stable.
sorry.
You can okay. Uh, the internet is not stable. Maybe it's for me. Yeah. I was asking what's the use of final keyword?
Yeah, sure. So basically, when we are using the final keyword in the class, so that you cannot extend those class. So you cannot extend a particular class which is called final in the another class. You cannot extend the behavior and all those things. And when it used within the variable, so the value cannot be changed. And when you used within the method, so you cannot override it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have a blank final variable?
Blank final variable.
Yeah. I can give an example what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've typed it in the chat. Can you have it like that?
Okay, I have not, defined something like that, but just give me a moment. I think yes, yes, you can have, but uh, I think because
Okay, if you have it,
I
how do you use that variable or what value gets assigned to that variable? Can you initialize that variable again in your code?
I think the value, by default, the value being assigned is zero. Uh,
Can you again assign a new value in your code?
no, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think when we define a particular, when we define a suppose if the same is like x is equals to 5, let's say. So this is, I think, I don't exactly know the term, but this is called the global constant, if I'm not wrong. So I don't recall exactly, but I think we can define this, and once when we assign something to it, so that is not possible.
So
Uh,
then what's the use for defining like this, right? If you're saying you can define it and you can't initialize this again in your code. So why
um,
will even Java support like that to declare it like that?
Maybe suppose you can use it for suppose not with the case of the int. Suppose you wanted to use it with the boolean, and you acha, okay, by that is, yeah, it is already a false. Yeah, by default is false. uh, Maybe there's some scenario, for example, when you define a boolean and you does not give it any value, so by default it remain false. And you can use the following condition, uh, whenever you designing any logic, and you say, okay, if this is false, then do this. So you can define it, but that's not the point, because
Then
again, a bit confused.
can you hear me?
Yeah, 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 sure, sure. You're not, am I not audible? Hello? Hello, Bhavna?
It's my internet or your internet. Yeah, uh, your video is stuck for me. I'm not able to hear properly.
Oh, okay. uh,
Yeah, now it's fine. Okay,
okay,
it's
yeah,
okay. Let's move on.
yeah.
So which Java version you're using or you're comfortable?
Mostly in my current project we are using Java 7, and before that I have also used Java 8 for 3 months in my previous
Okay.
project. Yeah,
So you're aware of interfaces, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So can interfaces have concrete methods?
Concrete materialism.
Yeah, like a private
Okay.
method, a static method, or
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
default.
Now
Yeah.
actually from Java 8, they have introduced a static and a default method to be present in in the interfaces.
Okay. So can you have private methods in interfaces?
Sorry,
Can you have a private method in interface?
private method
Yeah.
interfaces. Um, can you have private? I No, 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 no.
Okay. So you said you can have a default method and a static method interface, right?
Yeah.
So these interfaces you have to implement it.
Sorry.
You when you are implementing these interfaces,
Uh-huh.
do you have to override
No,
this?
no, 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 no,
So
no, 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 no,
other abstract like whatever other
no, 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 no.
you have,
You
right?
you don't have to. So basically,
Okay.
why they introduce it, like suppose you have one class or two class, so you can define your interfaces with the abstract methods, and having but suppose if you're implementing a particular interface is having 100 or 50 classes implementing that particular interfaces. So suppose if you try to add any of the function within the interfaces, so you definitely have to mandatory you have to implement in all the on all the classes. So that's why starting and default methods comes in. So whatever you require, you just in which of the class you require, you just have it, and in which all the class you don't require, you don't need to override all those
Okay.
methods.
Can you just open Notepad?
Yeah, sure. Sure. uh,
You have to share your screen.
yeah. Yeah. Able to see.
Yeah. 1 second, slowly. Yeah, you can open Notepads. You have interface test one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so in this, you think you have other abstract methods. Along with that, you have one method which is default. Say default uh, print or default display. You just have the method name as display.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have one more interface test two. Yeah, you can just copy the same. You have the same default display with the same signature also in this interface also.
Okay.
And now you have think class test implementable, which is implements test one and test two.
Okay. So this is the main class, or
This is a normal class. You can just give public
okay.
test, which is implementing both the interfaces, test
Okay,
one
got
and
it.
test two.
Okay.
Uh, so anyway, like other abstract methods, whatever are there in test one and whatever are there in test two, you have to implement them here.
Correct.
So when coming to that default method, it's like a conflict, right? It's implementing both test one and test two, and you have the same method signature and method name, which has default access modifier. So which one does this class test take?
Okay.
You said it's like the static methods and default methods are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
inherited to the class test.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it basically depend upon the logic of the test class. So if you wanted to have that particular method, then you have to create the reference out of it, and then you have to call that particular function. You
You,
it,
no, no. This display method is there, right?
yeah.
That one you don't have to implement in test class. You're just saying take a reference of test one or test one, access it is you're saying.
Yeah, because these are the default methods, so these are not the abstract one that you have to mandatory implement in your code.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay. So you are good with exception handling. You're aware of exception handling.
Yeah.
Okay. What's checked and unchecked exception?
So checked exception is basically the exception which which we find at the compile time, and one we cannot find at the compile time. So these are the unchecked exception. So for example, file not found is an checked exception, and when we talked about the you know uh, for example the out of bound exception is a runtime exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can have a custom exception.
Yes.
Okay. Can you have custom checked and custom unchecked, or is it possible only you can have custom checked exception?
No, no, I'm not getting your question. Can you repeat again?
Okay. So you said you can have custom exceptions, right?
uh, yes, yes.
Are custom exceptions checked or unchecked, or can you have both of them?
uh, I think you can have the both of them because it going to extend the exception class, so it have the variety of using both of those.
Can you write the custom exception for me? Custom checked and custom unchecked.
I'm not getting what.
Can you write? How
Uh-huh.
are you going to write a custom exception?
Yeah, sure. So can I rub it out?
Yeah, uh, I want both the custom checked and custom unchecked.
Custom checked and custom unchecked.
Yeah, you said you can write both of them, right?
Okay. I actually didn't write something like that because what I do is like I extend those exception class and I write my own methods. That is what I'm sure. Like once extend those exception class, so definitely it all boils down to you can use any of those things. But if you wanted a particular thing, okay, let me check.
Okay, so however you have written in past, you can just write that one and show how did you write.
Yeah, sure, sure. So let's say I'm saying uh, copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is checked exception or unchecked exception.
Actually, that's what I'm saying. Like whenever we are extending exceptions, so I think both those exception will come. But uh, um, because what I do is like I define out the on method and pass my own argument with it. Uh,
Okay.
but give me a moment. Uh, so i- just okay. So can you guide me like suppose if if there if there's a something like whether it should be inheriting the unchecked exception or the checked exception, something like that, is it there?
No, no. Now you are saying extends exception, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have others also. You can have extends runtime exception.
No, but yeah, that I understand. But the point is like, uh, I think the question that you're asking, like whether I can have that or whether I can have that or not. Is it your question?
You can use them. I'm not saying not. That is my question. What do you call a custom checked exception, and what is a custom unchecked exception? Was my question.
Okay, okay. Because every time we are using we are creating a custom exception, so every time I'm extending this and I'm defining my own method. But
Okay, that's
that's a
fine.
yeah. That's a
It's
valid
okay.
question. I should need to check that.
Yeah. So anytime used to finally block,
Sorry?
finally block.
Finally block. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So finally block, is basically used in the in conjunction with the try catch block, and it is being used to clean out all the operation which is being which is very essential to close out that particular program. So for example, while writing to the file, if there's an exception with the handling of the file uh, output, so you can say whether the exception came or not, you should need to close that file. So the
Okay.
close statement will go there in the finally.
Okay. If you have a return statement in your try block,
If you have a
Still
little
the
mistake,
finally,
okay, okay.
yeah, so there is no exception occurred, and whatever you have written in try block has been executed, and the return statement is valid, right? So now the will finally block get executed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Uh, so you can for one try block, can you have multiple catch blocks?
Yes.
Okay. So is there any order you have to
Yes, yes,
follow
yes,
to
definitely. Like,
catch the exception?
yes, yes, yes. So basically, the order should be like, you should not use the general exception in the front. So, for example, if I say, try, and once, I am catching, so I should not like, catch like exception here, and then I write file not found exception. Something I should not be used. So you should
Okay.
use here that, and this should be, this should come here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, are you aware of throws clause?
Yeah.
What's it used for?
It basically used to throw out a particular exception, and it is used within the signature of the method.
So suppose in try block I'm using a throws. Who is going to handle that exception? You got an exception, not in
Okay.
try in catch you got a you got okay. Sorry. So you are not try catch doing any try or catch in your method. You're
Okay.
just throwing whenever you got an exception, you're throwing it. Who is going to handle that exception?
Who is going to handle that exception?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you are saying like, whenever I have a function like something like that, test. So suppose it throws exception. So
Yeah,
you are,
you're using throws exception there.
yeah, yeah.
You can use uh,
So
throw
so
right, yeah, in your code when you're doing it.
uh no, no, I'm can you repeat your means? You are saying like, whenever I write this type of syntax, so who is going to handle that? Is that the question, right? Hello, Bhavna?
Yeah, you can't hear me.
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to hear now.
Okay. What I'm saying is
Uh-huh.
not in the method. Okay, that there you're writing throws exception that says this you have in this class you can expect that exception to occur.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when one second. Okay. Some, yeah. Uh, some runtime exception you think you're checking for a condition.
Okay.
Suppose let's think you're checking some marks for total marks. If it's less than for 500, you're just thinking it's less than 250. Then you say throw new what some custom exception you have thrown new not reached mark not reached some exception you have.
Okay. Okay.
So who is going to handle that? Okay, I can suppose let's think whatever we have will use. We'll think it's arithmetic exception.
Hello, Bhavna?
One second, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just typing in
Okay, okay. So I should need to check the chat.
the chat. Yeah,
Okay. Where's the chat? Yeah. I think where's the chat? Yeah. Okay. New arithmetic exception not reach the mark. Okay.
something. Just think whatever is there. So this
Mm-hmm.
is you some from one method you are throwing this.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So,
who is going to handle this exception?
okay. So you are saying that who is going to handle that?
Okay, this is runtime. You don't need to handle. Just think file not file, which is a custom what checked exception, right? You need to handle checked exceptions.
Bhavna, I'm so sorry, but can you reframe your question? Like this, I understand. Like you are throwing a custom exception. Uh, but actually, I'm unable to gather like what exactly the question is like. You are saying like this is the unchecked exception, and you should have a checked exception, something like that. You are saying.
Okay, okay. Let's think. Okay, you take a class
Okay. Okay.
uh, in which you want to check if the what marks is greater than 250 or not. For that, you have a method in one of the class.
Okay.
You're inputting. You're calling that method with your marks.
Okay.
So there, in that method, in other class where it's checking for that marks, it's throwing this exception if it is below 250.
Okay. Okay.
So who will handle this exception is my question.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you're saying like when we are implementing the try catch block. So these are the bunch of the guys who are handling the exception. But when we are throwing up a custom exception, who is going to handle that, right?
Yeah, not try catch or custom. I'm just saying normal exception also. If what does the throw mean?
Uh, okay.
So you're not handling the exception, right? When you're saying throw new arithmetic exception,
Mhm.
you're not handling it.
So basically, I think so. The handling goes with the exception class, and actually it reaches out to the throwable class, which is the parent class of it. So I think
Okay. Yeah.
so. That's what are you looking out for? I'm
Yeah, I was asking, yeah, if you're calling from one method
okay.
and an exception occur in some other, from one class you're calling another class method.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, so have you worked on serialization later?
Serialization, not specifically. Uh, like in my whole professional career, I have not worked with serialization, but I know a bit of it.
Okay. What's it used for basically?
Basically, is used to store the state of the object in a byte of streams, and the same goes with the deserialization. So you can use that particular stream, bytes of object to another process. So it's basically used to store the state of an object, like how you uses the state in different languages. Like for example, Python, you can use a pickle, something like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Suppose you have an employee object
Okay.
which has ID and name as fields.
ID and name. Okay.
Yeah. So you serialized it and stored in a file
Okay.
in a byte form.
Okay.
Later, you have changed the definition for that employee class. You have added a salary variable.
Okay. Okay.
Now you're trying to deserialize whatever you have serialized and stored in that file. Will you be able to deserialize?
But okay. But it has ID and name which is present. Like you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
just added the salary part.
A salary, I've added a new variable. The previous ones are there.
I think we can have it, but there might be some additional thing we can do. We have to do. Definitely, because in real world, definitely this is going to be a scenario. Definitely. Uh, okay. What we have to do extra?
Yeah, it's okay. Uh, have you worked on collections?
Yes.
Okay, is HashMap that safe?
No, it's not thread safe.
Yeah, can you make it synchronized?
Yeah. by using the collection dot synchronized map.
Okay. Are you aware of concurrent hash map?
Yes.
So what's the difference? I mean, if you make a hash map synchronized and a concurrent hash map.
So the concurrent HashMap actually, if you're trying to work on a particular thread, and it will locks out all the segment of the particular hash map. Suppose you are defining a hash map, and initially the size is 16 segments, and you have not defined it. So what the concurrent map do is, like, whenever you work with a particular thread in the multi-thread environment, so it blocks all the segment, so that only one thread will execute over there. But when it comes to the synchronized one, so the multiple thread can run on a different segment, as long as there is no collision between it.
Okay. So if you are synchronizing a hash map, for reading also, do you have to? I mean, does the lock apply for the
Yeah.
read also?
No, 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 no.
Is the same for concurrent hash map also?
Yes.
Okay. So you said you worked on Spring Boot, right, in the
Yeah.
previous project.
Yeah.
So what kind of annotations did you use?
Okay. They have used REST controller. Spring Boot application is there, and
Okay.
at that component, and at that entity, and mm, at the rate, yeah, mapping, request mapping, response body.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said controller and component, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Bhavna.
Yeah. Yeah. You said you have used controller and component, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, basically the beans are created when you define this. I mean, is there any difference for controller and component bean
Yeah.
creation and the way beans get created?
Yeah, so basically, when we define any particular, Pojo class for at the rate bean, so basically, what is like, it form a particular bean and put it into a Spring container. And when we define, like, what a component at that component, and the other thing is
Controller, yeah.
controller.
Or service at that service.
Yeah, so basically, when I defined, at the rest controller, so it basically consists of two things internally. So it consists of at the rate controller and at the rate response body. At the rate controller is basically, tells, which context to look out for when there's a request comes in from the view resolver. And at that responsibility, like, if you have used at the rate at the rate rest controller, so you should not, be using a responsibility alone, so it comes up with that. And yeah.
Okay. So did you use Autowire?
Yeah.
What's the use of that annotation?
So actually, what I understand by the auto wiring is, like, when you wanted to create a complex object, and you wanted the reference of a different uh, you know uh, references of different object which you wanted to use in particular class. So for that case, like, you should have that add that component for the different beans. And then for when once you define that auto wired, so basically what it is, it checks out for the references of in the Spring Boot container. So a Spring container, whether add that component is there, and if it is there, then we'll assign all those properties over there, in which class that at the rate auto wired configured is used. So as far as when I'm using those annotation, what I believe is, like, when you in a bigger application, when you try to use the autowired annotation, that means you are creating a complex object which having different references, and you have to tackle with
Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to programming.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a string.
Okay.
What you have to do is find the length of the longest substring. which has non-repeating characters.
Okay, great, great. I will. Yeah. So you are putting in the chat. Uh,
You want me to give a sample?
no, no, no. If you're not giving, that is okay. I will. You just speak out. I will note it down.
Yeah, I can provide one. You can start writing
The
a
logic.
pseudo.
Pseudo code you want?
Yeah, I can.
So
Yeah,
shall I start?
if you write the logic, yeah, yeah, you can start writing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Okay. So what is the question? Like largest non-repeating string, right?
Length of the longest substring, which has non-repeating characters, without repeating characters. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Secret. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, you can just write a single method. I'm going to try. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. I thought.
Yeah,
Uh,
just write a method. Kind of.
okay. Okay. I will do that. Okay. Should return.
It should return an int.
Okay. 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 Mm, no.
Is it fine for you? I mean, if we extend the interview past 5?
No issues. Actually, we have started late now, so no
Yeah.
issues. Okay. Should I need to use it? Uh, okay. Take the length of it first. Should I have this syllabus? Okay. So then I should have. And I again repeat that. So I should not have a two numbers. it is contain, it should contain uh, it is it is contain like that. Mm, I should have to look out for okay. So whenever I do this, go for that thing, because I want the maximum out of it, like, but it should repeat itself. Just contain the key. Then what I need to do? What is starting? And I should get it. Should get it. Because if it has come out 0, then I should have to add 1. Okay. Then it goes there and put out the value. And then I have to use when I put it on there. So it is on. Then again, if it is coming, then I need to do. I think it should be start minus. I'm doing like that. Yes, the end is nothing. So I think I should have something like that. It is start, because I'm checking out the whatever be the length of it. So I just say okay, now this is the length. So again I'm going like that. But before that I need to put it up. Where I need to put up. What are the values like? Once I get the max out of it, then and again this process will go on. So I'll say okay, now what I'm getting. Okay. But this thing will happen. If I do start putting it up, then I'm getting this value. Okay, now um, for the value which I'm having, like if it is the false one, so I think okay, there should be mm,
If you're done, you can just take the string which I gave and you can run through it.
yeah, actually I'm learning to on mine actually. That's what I actually struck over there.
Yeah.
Okay, just let me, it is better to uh, let's say,
Yeah, take the string which I've given in the chat.
I think it has not come yet.
Oh, not now. I gave it at 10 minutes back when I've explained this one. You can just go to the chat, open the chat, so it will show the previous messages.
Actually, I'm clicking on the string, but nothing is coming up. Alt H. I don't know. Yet.
Are you not able to go to the? Okay, you can just write take ABC,
ABC.
all small. It's okay to take capital. So then AB,
AB.
K,
K.
ABC.
ABC. Okay, good. Okay. So the output should be this. Maybe AB is. No, this is also not. Okay. Okay. Is the 4, 3, 3, 4. So that should be 4. So now contains now it contains A. We get in there. Should start at 0, then it should, okay, then get the value of this. It says 0, so say 1. Okay, now go to the put. It will put the string. Now this is the value which we are working on, and start again, and then it done. So what does, so like okay, is done. Then what is the maximum value of it? The maximum value coming out to be so this is the star 0, and so once it goes out to like 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, and minus
You can just, run through that for loop.
yeah, I'm doing
For the
that.
A, what is the contents of the map? Then next for B, yeah.
So for the A, we have the maximum length as 1, so we actually put it out there. Then for the second like,
You are not initializing your maximum length. So how?
oh
So
shit,
it's fine.
then what we are doing is like we go to B.
Yeah, just write down what are there in the map, your hash map.
Yeah, sure. So we go there, like it is like once it comes as a, the start is now 1, then put is like a 1, Then maximum length is, this is
So how
0.
come for A it's going into a for loop?
I'm not getting what?
For A, you're checking the if condition, whether it's there in the map. It's not there in the map, so it doesn't go to the start, your if block, right?
Mm, yeah, I got confused. Yeah, initially it. I was still in this statement actually. That's why my mind is still there. Um, okay. Um, zero. Then C is also zero. Then A. Now what is consists of A? It comes there. If we say okay 1, input out A now equals to 1. Then then this max is there. It says okay now the length is 0 and it shifts 1, so include 1 is 2 and max 1. So now the max length is 1. Okay. Now it goes to B. Now it is length is also 1, so max is 1, so it will take out the max. Then let's go to K. K is not there, so it will put out like K 0. Now okay, now comes out as A. Okay, comes into again A, so A comes out to B. Now what is this? Max length is, so the max length is 3. Now the max length become 3. Okay. Yeah, it become 3. No. Once it become 3, then it will go to B. Then again, the length of the B is 2, and it will check out another place. You can see now. We will see. It is container B. I think for the B, C must have to be 2. Yes. How do you do that? 4, 3. Okay. It should be the start or what? Um, but if I'm putting the start, so basically it will take out each and everything and put it over there, like this is minus 3, this is minus 3. But when it goes to this there, and what the maximum length of this maximum length is coming here to be 4. Value what it should be. because it is taking one at a time. Hmm. What is the answer? It is 4.
Yeah, you can see that it's 4.
Okay. I think
If you are okay with the solution, just run through complete string for me.
okay.
I mean, what is for each character in the string, what is the contents of the map? What is the value of max length? What is the value of start? If you can
Sure.
run through that, yeah.
So
Yeah, just start with A and
for the A, it comes out to be since it does not go there, so it comes out to be 0. So in the map, then it will check out for the B, and
no.
yeah.
Okay. Below your code, just put start max length, and then this go to the 37th line.
Okay, okay, okay. I should not write length because length is nothing. So 0.
Okay.
For now, when we come to the B, so B,
So in the map, you have A and 0, B and 0, right?
sorry,
In map, you have A and 0, B and 0 right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm, this is also 0.
Yeah, you can just change it at the first one only instead of writing every time. Only update the map contents. You can just use the
Okay,
same
okay,
content.
okay. Yeah. So for the B also, start will be 0 and max length. Uh, Max length will also be 0. No, max length is 1. So max length is so 1.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yes. So max is also 0. Then it goes to C. For the C also, for the C, there should be 2. So 0, 1. So for the C is 1.
For C, it should be 3, right?
Hmm. Because max length is still 0, and because this is the 0,
So your max length becomes 3 at this point.
no, what it is looks out for the maximum since max length is equals to 0 and I is true and star value is 0. uh, think no, waiting is like for the for this one I think the max length will come as 1, and no,
Then we are at C.
what I thought is like just give me a moment. Just zero, zero. Then it should one, and it is zero. So yeah, correct. Sorry. Then
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
sorry.
okay.
Actually now is three. Um, then there's a again. So now a come here, and since it contain the, so it is zero, and it's become one. So it is now a one, and its start is also one. Now this is four, four, and this is three. Eight, zero, three. Okay, it becomes, it still remains three, because if it is one, then it is three. So two, two plus one is three, and max is also three. So it will remain there. Then again, uh, it go to the B. So now it goes to B, and for the B, since it is already there, and the start is one, and B is already there, and then uh, 1 plus 101, then the maximum is also 1, so it will remain there. So this will become 4. 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 1. So this become 4. Shit.
You are at B, right?
I am at, yes, sorry, sorry. I'm at B again. I'm at
Yeah,
B.
I got the approach.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just have one last logical question.
Yeah.
Suppose you have 8 batteries,
8 batteries, okay.
uh, in which 4 are working and 4 are not working.
4 are working for, okay.
You have a torchlight in which you have to, I mean, to light, to make that work, you have to use 2 working batteries.
Uh, Bhavna, actually your voice is not bit breaking. So I just heard like you have 8 batteries, 4 are working and 4 are not working.
Okay.
Then
You have one torchlight
I have the torch, okay.
in which you have to, I mean, to make it work, you have to put 2 working batteries. Both of them should be working.
Both of them should be working, okay.
So how many trials? I mean, you have those 8 batteries which are identical.
Hmm.
In how many trials can you make the torch work?
Okay. Can I write it down?
Okay.
Yeah. So I have 8 batteries. 4 of them are working, 4 are not working. I have two torch, right?
No, you have one torch. You have to make it work. For that to work, you need 2 batteries, working
For
batteries to be placed in it.
okay, so I need one. I have one torch and I need 2 batteries. Okay. So what is the question? Like how much trial I need to require to?
Yeah, in how many trials you can make the torch light work?
Okay. So all both the four batteries are in different bag or something like that, or it
No, no,
is
no. You have all 8 batteries in front of you,
okay. Okay.
but all are identical. You can't.
Okay. Okay. Got the point. So all are identical. I have no idea which one is working, which one is not working. Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. And I have one torch. Okay, now I need 2 batteries. Okay, out of it I need 2 batteries. Okay, so I need to find out the minimum trial,
Yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
In
Okay,
how many minimum trials you can.
okay, great, great. Okay, uh, minimum try. Okay, great. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Minimum try. Okay, there should be not be a nota. Definitely not. Uh, minimum try. Like minimum trial would be one. Uh,
No, you should not say trial and error. The worst case scenario, how many you need is my question. You can't just say I'll pick two and those two are working and then one you can get it, right?
okay,
They may be
okay.
not working also.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay. So basically I need to provide a concrete way through which like okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So every time I follow that particular fashion, so I should get the two batteries.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can I do something with the batteries or how is it?
No, you just put it in dots and you can check, right? You take two batteries, put it in dots. It's
Okay.
working or not, that's it. You can't do anything else. Yeah. You can use how many times you want the dots. Yeah, that's the trials.
Okay. 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 Let's say what if I try to check with the torch. Mm-hmm. All identical. Okay. Should choose. I need suppose okay if I take out two torches, if I take the two batteries and put it in the torch, so that is one trial. And if I say like both of the batteries are not working, but how I am sure that both of these okay. Okay, so one of okay, I have two batteries and okay, if one of them are working and then one of them are not working, so let's say I try two scenario like okay, so these two are working, these two are not working. This and this and this is not working. And this and this. Okay. So if I take out one, so these two are still in the text. Okay.
If you can do it in this notepad, I mean, it will be good. I can just see how you're doing. Or
Sure. So in this you're saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So actually, what I was thinking, like, since I have, okay, since I need just two batteries, okay, okay, one of the cell will not work. So suppose I think scenarios two working, two, but the problem is like one is working and one not working. That is the problem. Hmm, and vice versa. Okay, one is working, one is not working. Then this it will be permutations, but that is not the minimum tile. It will want sorry combination. Nine. Okay. Not this one. That should be the minimum trial. Let's say okay. This is not hard. This is easy one. By the way, what is the answer of it? 8, 7, 5, 2, 28. No, no, no. 4. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's fine, Akash. Yeah, we're already past half an hour, five.
Yeah, no issues. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me? If not, we can end the interview.
No, no. In which project actually, this hiring process goes on? Means, if I may know.
Project in sense, yeah, you want what technologies we are using, or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we mostly use Java and Spring Boot. For
Okay.
the CI CD pipeline, yeah, we have Docker, Kubernetes,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
uh, Kafka. Internally, we use Kafka. And other security, all those things there. Yeah, basically these things: Spring, Java, and Docker.
Okay. Okay. Got your point. This is good. This is great. Yeah. Thanks, Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Yeah, if nothing else, yeah. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye. Bye.